Hello everyone and welcome to the Sonora Writers Group Reading Room. Our guest today is usually the person who interviews everyone else. It's Jill Leach-Klajic.
Thank you.
And she is sharing her book, I Want to Kill My Wife. She's also the author of a previously written novel with Dignity. Could you tell us a little bit about your new book, Jill, and then maybe a little bit about your old book too?
I can. Thank you very much. Yes, my old book, Writing with Dignity, took me about 30 years to write. I did a lot of research and also a lot of living and having a family and the whole bit. But this one here took about 6 months, and it's called I Want to Kill My Wife. It is based on a true story. It took place in 1980 down in the San Joaquin, Stanislaus County. And I will start reading almost to the end. And the story is about a young man who is just a normal young little boy growing up with big blue eyes and blonde hair, and everyone in the world loves him. He's adorable. But when he turned about 12 years old, he started showing signs of schizophrenia. And as time went on, it just became really difficult to live with him and for him to live with himself. He was fighting demons most of his life after the age of about 12, 13 years old. I Want to Kill My Wife, and I will start, like I said, about 3/4 of a way through of the story. Janet walked slowly up the long steps to the apartment over the garage. When she was close to the top, she stopped. Oh, dear God, please don't let them be dead. Give me the courage and the wisdom to know what to do. Janet knocked softly on the door and called out, Daniel, Daniel, are you home? The sliding glass door was open. The blinds were closed. She pulled the blinds back and again called, Daniel. After a few seconds, her eyes began to focus in the dark room. A shadow was at the table. It was Olivia. Janet felt movement from the side and saw Daniel sitting up from the sofa. There you are. Walking in, she sat down carefully on the sofa beside Daniel. Honey, I've been trying to reach you. I have been so worried. Janet took Daniel's hand and patted it. I don't think I'm doing very well, sis. I don't feel good, he mumbled. Janet could now see the large kitchen knives lined across the dining table in front of Olivia. Olivia quietly sat in the chair at the table. Janet's love and concern took over from all the fear and anxiety she felt when she had walked into the hot, dark room. Okay, sweetheart, I'm sorry you're not feeling well. That is why I'm here. I will take you to the hospital, and they can see what's wrong. Come on, sweetheart, let's go. I will drive you down to the hospital, and we will get you the help you need. Daniel nodded as they stood up and began to walk toward the door. Olivia cried out, No, don't leave me. I love you, Daniel. Janet's heart leaped back into her throat again. Olivia, don't you want to stay here until we get back? She can go with us, sis. Okay, come on. Tied. I'm tied, Olivia whispered. Daniel, honey, you go on down to the car. I'll bring Olivia. Janet watched as Daniel took a few steps toward the door. Olivia's hands were tied behind her back to the chair with a scarf. She looked over the knives. She watched Daniel stop at the door while she pulled on the scarf. Luckily for her, the scarf was wrapped around her wrists very loosely. When Olivia felt free, she hurried over to Daniel. Taking his arm, they began to walk side by side down the stairs. Janet's head was pounding, her eyes blurred, and she felt nauseous. Is it the heat or the stress or the fear kicking in, she thought. Why would she want to come with us? She must be as crazy as Daniel. Here, Daniel, you sit up front with me. Olivia, get in the back seat, Janet instructed. We can both get back here, sis. Olivia had already begun to slide into the back seat, and Daniel followed. Woodland Hospital was a 20-mile drive. Janet watched her two passengers in the back carefully from her rearview mirror. They sat quietly holding hands. Janet worried that Daniel might attempt to kill Olivia while they were driving down the freeway. This was not helping her headache. She was still shocked that Olivia would want to go with them. She doesn't even seem to be afraid. Janet shook her head and turned into the parking space near the emergency entrance of the hospital. Opening the back door, she took Daniel's arm and led him into the building. Olivia followed close behind. They entered the small waiting area, with one window on the right wall and a door on the left. A young woman who looked as if she was sitting on a stool behind the window smiled. Janet walked to the window with Daniel in tow. "Hello. I called you earlier this morning in regard to my brother Daniel. Do you remember?" "I do. I took the call. Is this Daniel?" "Yes, this is Daniel." Janet stepped aside and gave Daniel a little nudge forward. Olivia reached for his arm but missed. "Daniel, what seems to be your problem today?" the woman asked with a sugary voice. Daniel leaned forward and whispered into the window, "I want to kill my wife."
Oh my goodness, that's gets you on the edge of your seat, doesn't it?
Yeah. Schizophrenia is a very serious,
Yes.
serious mental illness. And
Yes.
it can be very dangerous. Not always, but it can be.
Can you tell us a little bit about where your books can be purchased and around here and so forth?
Right. Well, all of the Sonora Writers Group books, including mine, I Want to Kill My Wife and With Dignity, can be found at the Mountain Bookshop in Sonora, California. At Here's the Scoop Books and Gifts over in Jamestown, California. And then we also have them all out here at the Columbia Booksellers. It's a new shop out in Old Town Columbia, and you can find them there. And also, of course, on Amazon, Goodreads, my website, and my website is writingwithdignity.com. And you can call me too. We have a web page. The Sonora Writers Group has a Facebook page. We have a Facebook page. You can look us up and request information about any of our authors,
Well, that's
including you.
Well, great. Thanks for sharing your wonderful piece, and I wish you every success.
Thank you, and thank you.